You'll remember back at this time, and if you weren't around, you don't remember, but you probably heard the NHL was taking great pains to try and eliminate all the hockey fights. Actually, they didn't want to get rid of the fights. They wanted to get rid of the bench-clearing brawls. People were starting to complain that the games were taking too long. And you know what wasted a lot of time? The silly dance that was the bench-clearing brawl. So they made rules to try and eliminate that particular style of fighting. But really, they liked having the fighting. And they always had the hockey fans who liked this kind of stuff said nobody really gets hurt in hockey fights, right? It's all just good fun for the benefit of the fans that don't have the mental capacity to appreciate the finer points of hockey, right? Well, that ain't always true, the part about no one getting hurt, that is. The Bruins defenseman Don Orey engaged in a wrestling match in a game with the Montreal Canadiens this week with their young right winger Phil Roberto. And during the tussle, Orey went to the ice in a rather awkward manner, and he had to leave the game with an ankle injury. Now, it was believed that it was just an ankle sprain, but x-rays revealed that the joint was actually very badly busted, and now the Bruins are going to be without the Hard Rock Orey on their blue line for an indefinite period. Oh, yeah. They lost the game against Montreal as well. The big bad Bruins against the skillful Canadiens get in a fight. They still lose the game right in Boston Garden. But you know, the crowd loved the fight, so there's that, I guess. Don Orey's injury sparked some trade rumors around the Bruins. There weren't really strong in defense anyway, and they've always been looking for upgrades. The most prevalent speculation early in the week had Boston sending a young forward or two to the Vancouver Canucks for veteran defenseman Gary Doak. Doak very much like Orey, maybe not quite as big as Don, but not a skill player by any imagination, not a finesse guy, I guess I should say. Gary had serious skills, just not in the finesse department. And so they were looking at bringing him in from Vancouver. The Canucks really wanted young right winger Reggie Leach, but Gary Doak wasn't going to get that part of it done. Now, another rumor later in the week had the Bruins involved in trade talks with the California Golden Seals. And actually, when I heard this one made way too much sense to actually be true. It had California sending their best player, defenseman Carl Vadnais, to the Bruins in a straight-up swap for Derek Sanderson. Now, Sanderson would be the biggest thing to hit California in a good many years. He would have fit right in, but more in Los Angeles than in Northern California with the Seals. And Vadnais would team up with Bobby Orr and others to give the Bruins an awesome defense and a sure shot at a Stanley Cup. But that one didn't happen, but it was a really strong rumor this week. Now, the reason for all this trade talk, of course, along with Orey's injury, is that the Bruins have been extremely mediocre so far this season. So much so that that's why all the trade talk was taking place. Well, the Bruins captain Johnny Bucyk was very candid when he talked to John Ahern of the Boston Globe about their indifferent play early this season. John said, "We're uptight. We're way too uptight. We're pressing because we haven't been producing." Bucyk went on to say that things haven't gone the way that the team thought it would and that they should actually have gone. John said, "We haven't been scoring as we know we can." And then you actually start to get worried. But he said, this actually goes a lot deeper, actually right back to training camp. John said the Bruins were too casual coming out of training camp. He thinks that they all took the whole situation way too lightly. Johnny said, "We thought it would be easier than it has been, and we never got clicking. We just never got going." Bucyk went on to say that then you lose a couple games you didn't really expect to lose. You don't get the goals you should be getting. And then you start to press. Johnny says, "I don't mean one guy. I mean everybody. Everybody gets uptight and worried, and you can't do anything right. And every club gives you trouble." Bucyk says that it shouldn't be that way, and he says it won't be once the club gets relaxed, and he thinks that the team is actually getting there now. Johnny says, "I can see it, I can sense it. These guys are getting relaxed, and then we'll be all right.